Good day everyone. Quickly in this video I'm going to show you how to create a database and use it to manage user accounts. Okay, so quickly let's go to project and add a data source, and make sure you select database here, next, dataset, next, and check new connection. Make sure your SQL Server database file is selected. Okay, now we'll try to create a new database. I'm calling this text database db. Okay, it says it's not, doesn't exist. Should I create? Yes. Okay, and quickly it's going to create the database for us. So I'm clicking on next. It says, do I want it to copy it to the project folder? Yes. And quickly it's going to save the connection string. Yes, I want it to do this. Now it's looking for data set. Of course we don't have any object in it yet. So right now let's go ahead and create a table in our database. Okay, add new table, and quickly let's go on to add it. Okay, username and pwd for password. Now it's enabled. It's enabled. It's enabled, and this is going to be bit, then date. Okay, so here we have date, and okay, we can say date time. And here we have bits, and here we have enter. Let's say 1010. Okay, and id int. Let's assign this guy as the primary key. Okay, so maybe let's make the username 15 and password 15. Okay, so having that, let's quickly update the table. Update. Okay, so the update is successful, and right now let me close the table immediately. And okay, so with that we are ready to go. Let's quickly go to our data set. So go to your solution explorer, and this is the data set. You're supposed to see the data set here. Okay, so this is your data set. Double click to open it up. Now here you will see an empty file. So quickly let's right click and add a table adapter, and this time around we are using our connection. Next, use SQL. If you want to use stored procedure, you can use it. And okay, let's try to use stored procedure, but it's the same thing. Now make sure all these things are selected. Okay, and then use the query builder. Try to refresh to get the tables. Okay, this seems to be the name we called our table, so I didn't change the name. I forgot to do that. Now close this and select everything. Just select everything and click OK. Next, and let's call this select command. Okay, let's call it get data. Okay, and let's call this insert data and update. Okay, and let's call this delete. So quickly let's next. Okay, just leave everything marked and next. So we'll finish. You can see it generated every statement for us, so let's finish it immediately. With that we are good to go. Okay, remember you can right click and add queries and do this. Okay, but there's one thing else I need, so I'm going to right click here, click here and right click, add another query, and try to use you can use stored procedure and get a query that returns a single value. Okay, so this and what data should be loaded. Let's try to do something here. Let's add a table here. Okay, add that table and close it. We want to select counts. Select, okay, count. This is what I want. Let's try to execute the query. It says near counts. What am I missing? Select counts. It's like I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Okay, let's just cancel this and let me try to use add query, and let's use ordinary SQL statement, and let me see, select single. Let me see what I'm missing. Let's see. Table. Okay. Let's see if it says is best error. Error in select clause expression near count. So what am I likely getting wrong? Okay. Quickly, let me try another query. Let me try to add a query here, and I'm using the same connection, and let's use a single. Still not returning any value. And this is supposed to create. Okay, I apologize for that, and quickly let's add a query to do that. Okay, so I'm going to use a stored procedure, and let's make it return a single value. So here, let me paste. This is the code I should have written. Select count, then everything. Okay, from the table. So okay, we can use query builder to see how that it says error in front clause. So showing me error. I'm able to pass query test. Okay, let's try to use this and see what happens. Single, next. Let's see if okay, probably because we use the name table. Let me see if this is reacting. Okay, so it's reacting to the fact that we use the name table here, and it's not professional to use this kind of name. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. Let's quickly move on. So we'll call this count query. Okay, so this will quickly count everything on our table, and with this we are good to go. Let's just save this and go to our database. Okay, I think I forgot something else. We need a query to get this data where something exists. So let's add a query. We can use a stored procedure, we can use the other one, and what we want to select is we want to select everything. Query builder, and add the table, close, select everything where I need a where clause, where. Okay, we can also do it like this. You can add a filter from here. What am I doing? Okay, since we can add a filter where username, let's click here, where username equals to at username, and password equal to at password pwd. Okay, so with this we are good to go. With this we can use it to check on the login if the login is correct. So we'll call this login query. Login query. Okay, next. Then we don't need to fill data, we only need it to return data. And I can say return login. Okay, so next and finish. So with that we are good to go. Let's quickly save this and go to main form, double click on your login button, and first thing we need to create is we need to create an object of our data set. So dataset table adapter, so we need to say da data adapter, okay, sorry, dim da as new this is called test db, sorry, test db dataset table adapter dot. Okay, here we are calling the table adapter. Okay, saving this. You can see this is the name table, or we can change this name. We can rename it to our user table. Okay, so save this and get back to where we were. We're here. Okay, so try to rename this user table adapter. Okay, so at login what we need to check is if txt the text is not empty and txt the text is not also empty, then else. Values needed. Okay, and now it's not empty, so we quickly need to check if the user details are correct. So we simply say if da, but remember we are calling the object we created, that now we need to say get data by login. You remember when we created this, and it takes an argument username txt, username dot text, okay, comma, and password is txt pwd dot text. So with this we are good to go in login. If this dot rows, okay, is going to return some rows, but count is greater than or equal to 1, okay, then now it means the login was successful. Okay, so we are going to clear the text box password dot clear. Okay, this dot clear, and then we now say frm show the other text box main form. Okay, what's that called? Main the show dialog. Okay, so login successful. This means login, and here else msg user details not found. Okay, so with that we are good to go. We can run this and quickly test it, but I'm going to round up everything and show you that it really works. And right now what we need to do here is at the opening of this form we need to first of all show everything to this. I call this guy, I think I called it DGV. You can see the name DGV. So quickly we need to at form load event we need to show some data in that DGV, but first we need to declare the same object da as new test Okay, data table adapters dot user table. Okay, now on form load event, you need to say dgv dot data source equals to da dot get data. Yes, so this will get every data, in that table. And quickly in the create account, I'm going to copy some code in our login, which is this. I'm going to copy this code, Ctrl C, and here in the create button event, create account, we'll quickly paste this. So first of all, we are checking if the text box is empty. If text box is not empty, okay, so to now say user values are needed, but if it's not empty, we want to do something. Now we need to create. Here what we need to do here is not get login again. Okay, we need to get login here we are trying to like check if the user exists. Okay, here we are trying to check if user exists. So at this point we can say that the user exists here. User already exists. Okay, so and now here, then if the user is not found, here we need to create the user. So we simply do this by saying if da, of course we need to check if the operation was successful. So if da dot insert, and here is going to ask us of the id, and for the id we need to call also da dot count. You remember I have a query I called count query plus 1, so this is going to count the total number of data in our table. Okay, comma, then username txt username dot text, comma, txt username dot text, comma, and then whether the user is enabled, it should be true, comma, and then now should be the date, okay, when the person registered. So if this was successful, then let's move this and message the person. MSG operation is successful. Then shift home, Ctrl C, else. Okay, here we also need to display the whole thing again, dgv again dot data source equals to da dot get data. Okay, else here, that means somehow, maybe due to some constraints or some reasons, the operation was not successful. We need to paste this operation is not successful. Okay, so if this query runs successfully, it's going to return a boolean value. So if the value is true, then it means that the operation was successful. If not, the operation is not successful. Okay, so that is just how to create accounts. And quickly, I'm going to copy this, and because I made some mistake. Sorry, in case we need to try catch some error here, so I'm going to paste this back, then message box x dot, in case if some errors are caught. Okay, I'm going to do this, Ctrl S. So quickly, I'm going to copy the same thing again and use it for other ones, Ctrl C. I'm going to do something here, delete, Ctrl V. We can delete, what we need to do is we need to check, okay, So what happens at delete is that this guy needs to calm down. Why this other person moves up? Okay, so here we'll simply check. Here we'll simply check if you are trying to check if the user exists. Check if user exists. Check if user exists. Okay, so if the user exists, we are trying to delete. Okay, delete his accounts. Now this should be delete. da.delete. Okay, and this takes let's see what this takes. This takes some arguments we may not want to use. This delete takes some arguments we may not want to use. We may not want to use this because at this point we won't know the date when the user was created. So we are going to go back to this spot and create another query which will delete the user. And quickly I'm going to copy something from this. So I'm configuring this. Okay, sorry, I'm going to quickly, let me create another query, add query, and you can use a stored procedure. What we want it to do is to delete. Okay, query builder, add table, escape. I want to delete where username. Okay, delete from here where username equals to at uname. Okay, that is just what I want. Okay, so I want to delete where username is equal to something, and I think that should work. So we also, I'm going to copy this so that I don't have to be typing this every time. Next, let's use it as delete query. Let's leave it like that and then finish it. Okay, so let's quickly add another query. Update. We'll call this update. We can use stored procedure. This update. Let's use our query builder. Add this escape update, and what we quickly want to update is just if the user is enabled. Set it equal to that user at val. Let's call this value. Okay, then I'm testing what I just copied where username is equal to this. So this is all we need, and we'll call this our update query finish. So here we will have two more queries. I'm going to save this and get back to our main tab. So now we won't use this delete query. I'm going to try to delete it. You can see the new query we created now. So it says delete query, and here it's just asking us for just the username. So I'm creating this and I'm deleting everything else. So if this happens, then it's going to say operation is successful, and then it will refresh. So here at this point you need to determine what you want to do. Do you want to delete the user entirely, or do you want to disable the user? So here we are deleting the user entirely from the database, but had it been we want to disable the user, we can use the update query. We can use the update query and pass true, and we'll pass false. We can say update query false, okay, false, comma, then the person's username. Okay, so this way we are disabling the person from logging in next time. So somehow you need to determine what you want yourself. And okay, so let's leave this Control Z. I'm going to say Control Z. Control Z to undo this. Let's leave it as just delete. Operation is successful, and at this point operation was not successful. Okay, so if the query runs successfully, it returns this. If not, it returns this. And that's all we need for this. Delete. And what about our update? Our create. Do we have anything on? Okay, we already done the create. And as for our updates, we may not like to okay, let me try to test this again for our updates. So what it does is it checks if the user exists, and then it will try to, if the user exists, it will try to run this query. And okay, let's leave the update with this update. Let's use this, because if we are to use this, it's going to be asking us of some other values of the user, like when he created date and every other thing. So let's use this as our update. Otherwise, you can decide to update query is asking for something else. Let's use this, and okay. So quickly we are good to go. Otherwise, if we actually want to change the user's password, we can create another query to do that here. Right now, I believe you can create any kind of query you want. And okay, so let's run our program and see what happens. Okay, so username, I'm saying admin. You remember, let me just type any nonsense here and try to log in. You can see what happens. User details not found. But when I put the correct 1, 2, 3, 4 as my password and login, oops, it still says admin. User not found. Okay, so probably we don't have any user in that database. So I'm going to go to this guy and go to application and set our startup domain form. Now we try to create a user with admin. Okay, so let's create a user with admin and password 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's create account. Operation is successful. You can see the user and he's enabled automatically by default. So let's close this and change back this to login. Okay, let's form and start up again. I'm still sure this is not going to log in. For some reason this is not going to log in. Admin 1, 2, 3, 4. Still not going to log in. Okay, yes, it won't. Why? Because in our main database here we don't have the data. Okay, so we are quickly going to add the data from here. So ID, let's give it 1, and admin, and let's call this 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's leave this as 1, which is true. And dates, let's call, how do I put today? I'm going to call today. Okay, let me just say today's date is 7/28. Okay, 2018. Sorry, 2018. Okay, exactly. So with that, we are good to go. Now, if we try to run the program again, you can see that the login is working. Admin 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, login. Okay, so with that, we are now able to log in. And on attempt to create another user with admin 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to say user already exists. But there was a mistake I made here. If I try to do this, to show some other error. It's not checking for the admin, but rather it's checking for both of them. So we can fix this by using another query which checks only the, like this get login. We can add another query which uses only gets login. Okay, let's try this. Select, going to, okay, add this, select everything, where username, okay, oh no, not even need this. Where username equals to at username uname. Okay, so let's just click and you can see. So here we are only checking for username. Select user. Okay, let's call this select user query. Okay. Okay, next. And do we need to fill? We don't need. We just need it to return a data table. Okay, and finish. So with this we are good again. And quickly, I'm going to change create account to, instead of this, let's say select. Oops. What did I call that? Okay, sorry, I called it some other name. I'm going to configure that. Get data by tree. What did I? Okay, I'm going to configure this. Get data by user. Okay, next, finish. So I'm saving this and going back to this place. You can say get data by user, and now this accepts only username. Okay, so that is it. And we can also do the same thing as delete. Delete, you can say get data by user, then we also delete this, and through this also do the same thing as update, get data by user. So that is it, and I hope you follow this video very well to understand how everything works. If you don't understand, you can play this video again, and I think everything should get clear. So now if I try to use admin 1 to whatever and say create accounts, it's going to say user data already exists. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the password and this matches again, and here we can update a user. So let me try to create another user and create the account. You can see operation is successful. And now let me try to update this guy. I don't know if I can copy this. It will be okay. I copied this success. Let me try to update him. Says values were needed. Okay, we are checking if these guys are empty or true. Operation successful. You can see now he's no longer enabled. It's no longer enabled. So with this you can do so much. And you can go as far as saying, let's say we want to update this data grid viewer. Okay, call this update DGV. So let's say we want to update this DGV. Let me name this. DGV. And I can say something like da.update. And now this update takes something, so I can say DGV dot data source. With this, we are trying to update the entire changes made to our something. Control X, try cache MSG cache this X the message. So with this, we are able to go. Let's try to save the entire database. Admin 1 2 3 4 enter. Okay, we are logged in. Let's try to add new members to this spot. Create account, operation successful. Do this again. Do this. Create account, operation successful. So let's try to unmark this from here. Okay, we didn't make this a D table. This is not a D table. This is not a D table. We can change it from at this point. We can change it from here. Change it from here. Enable editing. Okay. Admin 1 2 3 4 enter. Okay, so let's do this again. So let's try to change this. Now you can see if I update this, it actually updated. How do we know? Let's try to add another something here. And if you create this, you can see that that particular one is no longer enabled. So with this method, we can easily do any kind of database operation. And I do hope you like this. I do hope you like this. And this particular method is actually very simple, pretty and easy to use. It separates your code and separates your work, everything. Just fine. I prefer to use this method most times. And if you check back on your table, you can see that some stored procedures have been created. You can see all the stored procedures we created from this spot. Sorry, from our test dataset. You can see all of them are being created in your database. So Microsoft actually did a great work using these datasets, and I like to work with it using table adapters and queries. You can add just queries, you can add data tables and whatever you want. Okay, and so much. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe. Bye.